Hello, this is Kira from Willow Tree Yoga, offering out just a little beginner's practice, especially just for those ladies who have been coming to my classes and due to the current situation we're not able to run those classes. So just a little home video to help you keep practicing your yoga, to help you stay focused and grounded. So we'll start by lying down. So just in Shavasana, allow the feet to become hip distance apart. Toes pointed outwards to the corners of the mat. Rolling the shoulders back and down. The hands just come out by the sides, palms facing upwards or slightly inwards. You can engage the index finger and the thumb in a little mudra. For those of you who may suffer from lower back issues, just bring the soles of your feet to the earth and the knees up. This will just release any pressure or tension on that lower back. Just ensure the chin is lower than the forehead, just extending the back of the neck. And just take a nice big deep breath into the belly. And sigh that breath out. Take another nice big deep breath into the belly, up into the top lungs, and just sigh that out. One final deep breath to the belly, the top lungs. Hold for 2 at the top, and then just allow that breath to find its way out. So just gently closing the eyes, bring the gaze down to the heart center, and just allow the whole body to relax. Just sending out your awareness, noticing any sounds beyond the room, searching out the most distant sound you can hear. And just acknowledge these sounds and just let them go. Bring that awareness within the room, noticing any sounds. Acknowledge these sounds and just let them go. Just bring the awareness back to the breath. Become aware of the breath entering the body and the breath leaving the body. Notice how the breath is warm. Following that breath, notice how the breath is cool as it enters at the tip of the nose, down the back of the throat, and then just following that breath out. Noticing the ebb and the flow from nose to navel, navel to nose. And just allowing the breath to just naturally flow. Not trying to alter or change it in any way. Relax the feet and legs, the pelvis and hips, the arms and hands, allowing the shoulders to melt. Relaxing the face, the jaw, relaxing the whole body. I'm just committing here to your practice. allowing any thoughts that intrude. Just imagine them washing on by on a little cloud. Relaxing the whole body. I'm just searching the body now for any areas of tension. See, can you breathe into those areas and just let go. Breathing in relaxation, breathing out tension. Breathing in relaxation, breathing out tension. Breathe. Should all be getting nice and relaxed. So just whenever you're ready, we're going to begin to deepen the breath. Breathing into the belly and maybe just sighing that, yawning it out. And on the next nice deep breath, breathing in, lifting the arms up and over the head, stretching into the fingertips, into the pointing the toes away, and just enjoying a nice all over body stretch. Breathing in, bring the arms back down by the sides. Breathing in, lifting those arms right up, stretch behind. Point the toes away. Breathing in, bringing the arms back down. This time bring your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a nice little knee hug. Gently rocking side to side if that feels good, before rolling over onto our right side. And just carefully make your way, pressing in the top hand, up to sitting, and we'll all meet an easy cross leg. I just use a little block to sit on, helps lift my pelvis, helps tilt the pelvis forward. So if you have a little cushion, this will work equally as well. Or just fold a blanket a couple of times, it'll work the same. So easy crossed leg. Roll the shoulders back and down. Make sure that heart is shining forward. Your chin's parallel to the earth. The sides of the body are nice and long, and the gaze is soft. So from here, we'll place the palms of the hands on top of the knees. And breathing in, breathing out, we'll lower the right ear to the right shoulder. Breathing in, coming back to center, and breathing out, bring the ear down to the left. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing in, looking up. And exhale, bring the body, the head down. Look down in front of you. Breathing in, back to center. And just checking those little sit bones, if there's any wee bits need moved. And we're sitting on those two sit bones. It's a nice long spine. Breathing in, we're going to bring the right arm up over to the right side of the body. Breathing in, lifting up through the spine, and exhale, bringing that ear down to the right. Gently encouraging it over. You can bring your left hand down just to get a nice longer stretch right from the ear down to the shoulder to the fingers. Breathing in, back to center. Bring that hand down to the earth, just out from the hips. Nice straight line. Breathing in, lifting the left arm up over the head. And just guiding that ear down to the shoulder. Be mindful of where your shoulders are. Make sure they're down your back. Just breathing in and allowing that to come back down. Placing our hands onto our knees, and we'll just do some little shoulder rolls, shoulder rolls. And breathing in, bringing those shoulders round and down the body. Oh, it feels good. So, bringing the left hand to the earth, directly out from the hip. Breathing in, lifting up with the right hand. Walk this left hand out, making sure your sit bones are staying tucked into the earth. So go as far as you are at today, reaching up through those fingers, stretching that whole side body. Breathing in, coming back to center. Breathing in, the left hand comes up, the right fingers are walking out. Do make sure your sit bones are on the ground. You're reaching up through, don't let the body collapse. And breathing in back to center. And we're just going to stretch those legs out in front. Bring the legs as wide as possible. Point the toes to the ceiling. Bring the hands to center and into little pointy fingers. So here we're going to imagine that we've got a big pot of chocolate sauce in front of us. I'm going to start mixing that. Working in a clockwise position. Reaching out as far as you can, rolling round the pelvis, keeping those toes pointing to the ceiling. And gently come into stillness, and then we're just going to work the opposite direction. And come to stillness, bring those legs back in. Here we're going to breathe in, bring the toes up towards our face. Exhale, bring them down. Point the toes away. Breathing in, toes to face. Exhale, toes away. Breathing in, toes up to our face. And exhale away. Breathing in, toes up. Exhale away. Bring the toes back to neutral position. We're going to breathe in and try and expand the toes, get space between the toes. Exhale together. Breathing in, widen the toes up. I find it helps if you do it with your hands too. So breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And then just wiggle the toes. So we're going to come into tabletop position. Removing anything out of our yoga space. So a nice tabletop, the legs should be about hip distance apart. We get our two fists like so, in between our fists, but in between our knees. That's about hip distance. It's a nice straight line from the hip to the knee, and a nice straight line from our shoulder, elbow to the back of our wrist. Our arms are about shoulder distance apart. So make sure your toes are pointing away, the gaze is down at the fingers. Middle fingers parallel to each other and parallel to the edge of the mat. The elbows should be smiling at each other, so just scribbling the hands into the mat. So here we're going to breathe in, look up. The belly button comes forward, the back dips down. And exhale, draw the belly button in. The gaze comes up towards the belly button. Pushing the mat away from you, breathing in, looking up. Exhale, push the mat away. The tailbone comes towards the earth, the belly button up into the belly. Breathing in, looking up. And exhale. Breathing in, looking up. And exhale, coming through. Gaze comes to the belly button. Breathing in, looking up. And exhale. Then from here, we are going to bring the big toes together and the knees come as wide as the yoga mat. Bring the left hand underneath the face. The right hand comes on top. Breathing in, bring that hand up to shoulder height. And exhale, back down. Breathing in to shoulder height. And exhale, back down. Breathing into shoulder height, looking out towards your fingers. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up into fingertips. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up. Look up at the fingers. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting up to fingertips. And exhale, back down. Just change over the clasp of the hands. So the right hand is on the bottom, left hand on top. Make sure you're pressing in with the legs right from the knees, the shins, right down through the front of the foot. Breathing into shoulder height. Look out at those fingers. Exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, coming back down. Breathing in, lifting up. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up, looking up at those fingers, pressing in with the hand on the earth. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting up, looking up at the fingers. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up and holding for 3 breaths. Exhale, back down. And just bring the bum back to the heels. Stretch the hands out. So the forearms are up off the earth. We're into hare pose. Active hare with the forearms off the ground. And just connect with your breath. Notice how the breath is. Notice where the breath is. Lifting the forehead, coming up into tabletop. Now you've got the options of keeping the legs, the knees as wide as the yoga mat, or bringing the knees in together to work a little bit more. Left hand underneath the face, right hand on top. Breathing in, lifting up to shoulder height. And exhale, back down. Breathing into shoulder height. Exhale, back down. Breathing in, looking out at the fingers, and exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up into those fingertips. Exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up into the fingers. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up, shining the heart forward. And exhale, back down. Change over the clasp of the hands. Right hand on the bottom, left hand on the top. Grounding down with those feet. Remember the earth has you, you're pressing down to lift up. So breathing in, lifting up to shoulder height, looking out at those fingers. Exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting up. And exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting right up. Exhale, back down. Make sure your middle finger's pointing forward and is parallel with the edges of the mat. Breathing in, lifting up, looking at those fingers, and exhale, back down. Breathing in, lifting up, and exhale back down. And we'll just come back into Balasana, pose of the child. You can bring the hands in round behind, putting the backs of the hands onto the earth. It's nice to just melt down. And just connect with your breath. And then slowly breathing in, coming up to tabletop. And here we'll just bring the right leg back and just stretching out that calf muscle. Breathing in, bringing the left leg back, stretching that calf muscle. And then just from here, we're going to breathe in, lifting the right leg, just to hip height, toes pointing down. Exhale, bring that leg through. Breathing in, just to hip height. Exhale through. Breathing into hip height. And exhale through. Breathing in. And exhale back down. Come over to the left leg, breathing in, bring it up to hip height. Exhale, coming through. Breathing into hip height. Exhale, coming through. Breathing into hip height. Exhale through. Breathing in. And exhale back down. Now we're going to come into down dog. So if you've got your socks on, you might want to take them off now. And I just hope I'll fit into the screen when we come up to standing. So, tucking the toes under and just coming up into a nice down dog with bent knees. We're going to stretch one leg and bend the other. Really working into those heels. So the gaze is up towards the belly button. The head is nice and long. The neck is long. The head's just dangling there. Pressing away with the mat as if you're trying to tear the yoga mat in half. And we just walk out these legs. Everybody's favourite pose. And then we'll just come to stillness. And enjoy the nice stretch. And then we're going to slowly come to standing. So we're going to come baby steps, one in front of the other. If you've issues with knees or hips, you can bring your hands back to your feet. Whatever you do, do it slowly. So one foot. Just keeping the knees bent. The fingers can come up onto spider fingers. And just slowly, slowly walking up. Nice and slow. The gaze is keeping down to the very end. I'm going to dangle here for a little bit in Uttadasana. So just holding the opposite elbows, keeping the knees bent, and just allow the front body to just drape over those thighs. The skull is facing down towards the earth. And you can play around here, bounce about, swing side to side, whatever feels good for you tonight. If you have high blood pressure, don't stay here too long. If you feel dizzy at any time, just come down to a squat. Just hanging out in Uttadasana. And then slowly bringing the fingers down to the earth, pressing in with the feet, pressing the feet really into the ground. The fingertips can come up along the shins. We're coming up to flat back. So it's gently straightening the legs, pressing the hands in. The skull comes towards the front wall, the tailbone comes towards the back wall. As if somebody could sit a nice cup of tea on your back. Bend the knees, reaching down, really pressing it with the feet, and now lifting up, and my head disappears. So I'm going to have to step back a little bit. So from here, we are going to take our feet a little bit more than hip distance apart, hands onto our hips. We're going to do some hip circles, so just circling around clockwise. You'll get nice sound effects of my hips going here. Slowly, slowly, working into those hips. If you want to go fast, go fast. Whatever works for you is just right. And slowly come to stillness. And then we're going the opposite direction. Always feels a bit weird going the opposite way. Now just coming back to stillness, bringing the feet close together, bringing the hands onto the shoulders, shoulders in front of the face, breathing in, lifting up and round, breathing in, lifting up, round and down. And come to stillness, and let's go the opposite direction. And just shake that all out. Now, we're going to do a mini tree pose. So, if you have a wall beside you, you can turn to the side and just have your finger out that you can hold on to the wall if you need. But it's a mini, it's a beginner's tree pose. So hands on hips. We're going to root down through our right leg. Make that right leg really strong. Spread the right foot out. Imagine you've got roots on that right foot leading down into the earth. Slowly come on to the toe tips of the left foot. Now you might just be here and set that right foot on top of the left foot on top of the right foot. You might want to bring it onto your shin. Avoid the knee area, so we're not pressing it near the knee. From here you can bring your hands to heart center. You can bring the hands up overhead, out at shoulder height, or in close. I appreciate you can't see my hands, but there we go. And just breathe, shine the heart forward. And slowly exhale, bring the arms back down, bring that leg back down. Beginner's tree pose. So we're going to root down now with the left foot. Really make that left leg lovely and strong. Suck all those muscles in around the bones. Bring hands to the hips. The right foot comes onto toe tips. Here we can just set it on top of the left foot, or we can bring it to the calf. And I'm very wobbly tonight. So keep a focus on a spot in the wall in front of you above shoulder height. And just focus on that. Bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra if that suits you. If not, you can bring your hands above the ceiling, above the head, reaching up, chin parallel to the earth. Or if you want to stay with your hands on your hips, that is perfectly fine. It is a beginner's tree pose. And exhale slowly, slowly, slowly. That's good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come to sit down on our mat in Dandasana. Move any little bits the booty to make sure the sit bones are on the earth. And just breathing in. Make sure we've got a nice long spine. The toes are pointing to the ceiling. The chin is parallel to the earth. And here we are going to bring the right leg up. Sole of the right foot is on the earth. The knee is in the air. And we're just hugging into that leg. So imagine you're trying to bring your back body into the front body. Keeping the chin parallel to the earth. Nice long spine. Breathing in, lift that right leg up and over the left leg. Plant the foot near to the knee on the earth. Make sure your left toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Flex those toes. Here we're going to bring the left arm around the right knee. So we're hugging that knee. So make sure the body's nice and straight. Spine is nice and straight. Bring that right arm right round behind, up onto fingertips. Breathing in, lifting up. Roll the belly over the thigh towards the right. Pause here. Making sure your chin is parallel to the earth. Breathing in, lifting up through the top of the head. Exhale, bring the top of the chest around to the right. And as long as you have no neck issues, you can breathe in, lift up, bring the gaze, the chin right over behind that back arm. Closing the eyes, bring the awareness to the very base of your spine, breathing up and down through that spine. And then slowly as we've come into the pose, just bringing that belly around, the top chest, the gaze, right around. I like to do a wee counter pose here. Breathing in, come back to center, bring that right leg down to meet the left leg. Check you're on your sit bones, nice and tall. Breathing in, lift that left leg up. Hug the left leg, back body into front body, chin parallel. Breathing in, lift that leg over. Make sure your right toes are nice and flexed to the ceiling. Breathing in, bring the right arm around that leg. Left arm comes right round behind. Breathing in, lifting up, chin parallel to the earth. Exhale, roll the belly over the thigh.